Hi, this is Sharad. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. My Christmas was quiet in my hotel room. I've been really under the weather. I have been having fevers on and off, and it's around my right, right around here and my head. And then I've been having severe pains right in here. So I hope, so I've been resting. So I hope you had a wonderful Merry Christmas. And I wanted to elaborate on one of my YouTubes regarding the audit. And what I mean by an audit is when you go into a database and you set up a record, your records are set up in sequence. And those records in sequence should match. In other words, you have a programmer usually have ability when they write these softwares to either do it automatically where a sequence number is assigned, or they can default to a sequence number. And what I'm saying by that, that means that, for example, if I was going to reconcile a certain particular database, for example, I would use law enforcement. I would look at the forensics of that individual case that I'm looking at, that individual, to see if they identity match the individual they had arrested. And first of all, what I would do is basically look at the forensic biometrics of both individuals. And then from that point, I will look at their fingerprints. And from that forensic biometrics and their character features and fingerprints, it should identify the true person that they arrest was not the original person. Now, I'm not, so I had one case similar to that, um, where it happened in 1998. I was pregnant at the time. I never even lived in that part, never been in that part, in that area. So it was bewildered to me that something would have happened to that effect when the forensic biometric doesn't match. So basically, you have a person that claimed to be this individual doesn't make it so. John Doe can say, when they arrest someone, they can say anything that doesn't make it true. And also, they can also backdate a record. And what I mean by that, they can post-date records. So, and that's why I said an audit needs to be done, because if they post-date a record, the sequences are going to be current. So if that current sequence is not the same, then you know that something funny is, it doesn't reconcile. You see what I'm getting at? The case doesn't reconcile. How can a current case number or frequency number or docket number be current in a manual sequence when the manual sequence was different back in that year? You see what I'm getting at? So those are kind of things that I would have someone to look at, as well as you can do that same scenario with the judicial court system as well. Also with the docket numbers, and also with the Social Security. For example, the forensic biometrics of that person's historical information where they were raised versus the data that someone claimed that they were. So it's easier to reconcile, and this is what I'm getting at. What I'm asking at this point, since everyone claiming their meaning and so forth, I'm going to ask for an audit to be done. That's basically what I'm asking for now. Because if everyone's saying that they're me, look at the forensic biometrics. You saw that I had up my college ID, and the forensic biometric hasn't changed. I still have the mole right here, and right here on my nose. Though that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. It's been there, and it's been there for years since I was young. So that I can recall noticing it. And the eyebrows and the nose. That's why I have not got my nose done, because it's a nose. So anyway, to reiterate what I'm speaking about, and in depth, it's a very serious matter to me, because what I'm asking for now is that They're claiming that there's no proof, but there is. The data won't match. How can you claim this is the person? And then you can also, by that audit, they can subpoena those surveillance tapes from the day of arrest. They have the bubbles, those surveillance bubbles all over the place. The day that person came in, and all through it. They can't wear caps or anything, so you would see these people's features. And by law, they have to have those surveillance cameras in all the departments, including the judicial court, for their safety and because of September 11th. They have to keep them for so many records, I think 10 to 20 years. So I know that they have the surveillance tape. So basically, you're going to take that surveillance tape of the day of the arrest and match it to that forensic biometrics of that profile of that individual, like the picture, and then the picture of the current individual who they claim who they were impersonating. And there you will find that there is some identity theft issues, impersonation issues going on. This is your ride, and have a blessed evening.